Yes, welcome to the True Communicator. You know, we at this channel, we are nothing about propaganda. We're just all about telling the world the truth. And you know that we're living in the 21st century where you would think that people would be more ethical, honest, decent, conscientious. But as you are seeing, you don't expect a leopard to change its spots. And we, living in the Western world, we did not come here because our ancestors wanted to be here. They were captured and brought to the Western world by some of our own people in Africa, along with people who exploit our ancestors, especially the British. You know, when you're talking about the art of terrorism, wickedness, and everything you can think of, that's when it comes down to and racism, the other art of racism. Yes, it's the British Empire. And I have several members of my extended family that lives in Britain. You know, most of them serve in the military as they believe in serving. And as you're going to listen what this member of parliament is saying over there in the House of Commons. So, you know, what people don't understand, you see, when you create hatred, all it's going to breed is hatred. And I think that because they have the biggest weapons in the world, that you can change people's hearts and mind. But what has been happening over the years, especially in the Arab world, the Arabs are not forgiving as black people. And if you have seen, even today, 2023, the black people are still under attack from these people, white people in Africa. Think they have no respect for black people nowhere in the world. It doesn't matter what the black race have done to make their country great. They don't respect the black people. So I want you to listen to what this member of parliament in England is saying about the wicked action of these people in England. They're shameless, heartless, wicked, and they're evil. When they come on to lying, these people their depths of lying have no limit. So I want you to listen to this man, and we'll continue the conversation.
The first British ships arrived in the Caribbean in 1623, and despite slavery, despite colonization, 25,000 Caribbeans served in the First World War and Second World War alongside British troops. When my parents and their generation arrived in this country under the Nationality Act of 1948, they arrived here as British citizens. It is inhumane and cruel for so many of that Windrush generation to have suffered so long in this condition, and for the Secretary of State only to have made a statement today on this issue. Can she explain how many have been deported? She suggested earlier that she would ask the High Commissioners. It is her department that has deported them. She should know the number. Can she tell the House how many have been detained as prisoners in their own country? Can she tell the House how many have been denied health under the National Health Service? How many have denied pensions? How many have lost their job? This is a day of national shame, and it has come about because of a hostile environment policy that was begun under her Prime Minister. Let us call it as it is. If you lay down with dogs, you get fleas. And that is what has happened with this far-right rhetoric in this country. Can she apologise properly? Can she explain how quickly this team will act to ensure that the thousands of British men and women denied their rights in this country under her watch in the Home Office are satisfied?
Wow, that was a real hard one to swallow. Yes, and I had granduncles who migrated from Jamaica went to the motherland, that's England, served and fought in World War II. And as you heard that Member of Parliament stated that, black people fought for England in World War I and II. And at the end of the day, these people were British citizens. And you know what these people have done in the 21st century? The same people, the same Britain, yes, that they celebrated the Queen Jubilee, arrested the people who were born in England, their offspring, and deported them. These are people that were born in Britain. They know no other countries, none. Most of these people have, who were born there, they have never visited their parents' ancestral land where they were born, whether it's Jamaica, Barbados, Trinidad, Guyana, or any one of those countries. And they deported them. People who were born in that country. So when you're talking about racism and wickedness, that's the belly of the beast right there. You have to remember that racism started by the British. If you remember a man by the name of Charles Darwin, he's the one that says that black people head were like that of donkeys. So with these kind of people that you have that's in charge of these countries, making decision about black people's life, only a fool would believe that these people are good stewards or decent or ethical people. You don't expect somebody who has been wicked to your ancestors for all these years to be good to you. Most of the things that happen to black people, why black people have a little rights, they didn't get it because these white people love them. They get it because they had to fight and shame them, along with other countries, other white countries that would sided with the black people. Yes. And during black people's struggle for freedom within the world, unfortunately, the country right now that has been, a thorn in the sides of the world is Russia. Russia was the only one that would, back then, France, that would try to help the black race a little in terms of them getting freedom from these Europeans. Because you know that when it comes down to wickedness, that's all these people know. If you cannot be true to yourself as a human being, how are you going to be true to another person? You have to have a conscience and you have to have a heart. And these are the people that the world have been dealing with all these years. But as we know that nothing lasts forever. The British Empire, yes, was one of the biggest empires. And they have fallen, so nothing lasts forever. Remember, you used to have the Roman Empire, you used to have the Greek Empire, and we could go on and on. But nothing lasts forever because God is the Almighty. God sees and knows everything. And these are the same people who have gave us the Holy Bible. And these are the same people who are telling us to ignore the Holy Bible and not to give any credence to it because it's archaic, it's an old book. But we know that there's a true and living God. And we know that black people are very loving people. Some of them. But some are just evil as the oppressor. Oh, and when will this world be able to be led by people or a government that is ethical, truthful, decent, and have a conscience? When the world will be able to see a country like that? We know that it's hard to see a country, especially in the Western world, to see an honest country that have decency and truthfulness. That is from the helm of it. But only time will tell. Or we have to wait until God returns for his hurt Have yourself a beautiful day. The True Communicator out.